Look, Coach Scott doesn't have to ask me to come to Wellsville after a long day. It's a privilege, and I'm going to try to get down here a few more times before this season is over. Going to get caught up on this young basketball team. Now, I was here for the Toronto game in which they lost, and then on the road at Steubenville Central in which they lost again. So they're going to try to get it together, got some days to practice, and then it's hopefully a happy new year, and they're going to be playing some local teams to begin, and that is the first week in January. They've got Oak Glen, and then they've got Lisbon. But before we get to any of that, so the Toronto game, 3 of 19 from the three-point line, 14 turnovers. It seemed like your team just kind of gave up, and I'm quoting you, Coach, from the paper. You just can't have that,
yeah,
right?
We couldn't make shots, and I thought the first half, we was only down 2 at the end of the first quarter, and then halftime we was only down 9. It was a manageable game. We were perfect, and then, craziness happens in the third quarter and then the fourth quarter. We just couldn't hit shots, and I thought we played good defense for the most part, and then we just lack of scoring kind of just drove our defense down, and we just kind of gave up, and we didn't finish the job like we should have. But we didn't have an answer for that big 6'6" kid. We fronted him, we guarded him behind, we did everything we could. He was just too big. Our tallest kid's 6'4", maybe 6'4", 6'3", so he's got a couple inches on us. We was there. We played physical with him. He just made some shots. No one else beat us. He had 25 of the 50. So they played well team defense. It was just that big kid we had no answer for. So
listen, I remember even coming down on a balmy, wintry day like this decades ago. Somebody was out playing playground basketball when the weather was warm.
Yeah.
How do you get this community back to that natural athletic ability? Because they're always walking around with a basketball. They're always playing basketball. And look, I go back to Coach Dawson and others, and I know this. You've got the same mindset. You've got the same pedigree. You were that time of an athlete, all-time scorer. You've done it all here. And of course, Bugs did a great job as well. But you got to get these young people understanding what it is to wear the orange and black and represent Wellsville, right?
Yeah. It's pride to wear this, and we have some kids, little kids, like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade teams we just signed up for, putting them in. So years past, we didn't have the numbers, but now we're having some numbers. So that's going to help us build for the future, But everywhere you walk and drive, you see kids with a basketball. If it's down on 18th Street playing basketball, they got the new rims. But kids love basketball down here. This has been our school sport for a while. Football teams had some good runs, but everyone would probably say this is a basketball school. But
so it's starting to come back then.
Yeah. Now we just got to win some games and put it all together. That's all we got to do.
So just describe your team. And I watched them play the other night. Very physical. You got some speed, but they just have to know how to think basketball, work it inside, lean on the opponent a little bit more as opposed to just kind of throwing it up and hoping for the best. It just needs a little bit more of a thought process. Would you agree?
Yeah. I think we're 6-7 games in, so I think so it's early, but we play really good team defense. We play physical and we play fast. I just think our shots need to fall more. We're playing tough defense, but you can only ask these kids to play defense for so much. If they're not making shots, it's human nature to kind of slow down on defense. But we need to be more together as a team and lift people up when craziness happens instead of getting down on ourselves and then kind of slowing down. Because we're effort. We just want to go effort all the time. We want to play fast. We want to play together, and we can't get people down. And if we're missing shots, we just got to keep playing. They'll come. We're making like we talked about yesterday. We make the extra pass. We make the right pass. It's just like shots got to go. Sometime it's going to go. We don't know when. Hopefully soon. But we're going to keep working hard, and the effort's there. We had a great practice yesterday, so we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, that's why I was talking about working it in. You get confidence the more buckets you put in. Then you can pull up and start shooting from the perimeter. But you got to put some points on the board, and you have the talent to do it. Let's go back to Watkins and Douglas. So those are the 2 guys that you're really counting on to step up?
Yes. Yeah. Watkins is probably our best overall player. Douglas is probably our best guard. And then Richie Dowling's our best shooter. Right now, we've been – Richie – last 2 games, Watkins only scored 5 points both games, so that kind of hurts. He was in foul trouble both games. Douglas really did shoot the ball well the last 2 games. Dowling played well the last 2 games for us, but we need to get all 3 of them need to play well for us to succeed and do what we want to do, And we want to get out and run. We want to get out and run. We want to make layups. We want to make our offense a lot easier than it has to be. So we just got to get out. We got to play physical defense, get out and run, make some layups, and then the jump shots will start to fall.
All right, let's just take a quick preview with Coach Scott. We're down here at Wellsville. We're on our way to the Brighton Hot Dog Shop in Chippewa to talk to Dante Calabria, longtime friend of your Pratt Pack, his father, Chad Calabria. Chad went to the University of Iowa. His dad won a state championship playing for Frank Jameson and Aliquippa back in the 60s. And of course, John Miller, the greatest high school basketball coach I've ever been around. With all due respect to some of the greats like Bobby Dawson, John Miller is incredible. Of course, the Miller brothers, Archie and Sean, have gone on to do incredible things at D1 level as well, not only as players, but as coaches. But Dante, I mean, talk about a career. He wins the WPIAL, wins the PIAA with Coach Miller at Blackhawk, goes on to play for Dean Smith. They win a national championship there. And then he goes to Italy and plays in the pros from 96 to 2010, did a lot of broadcasting over there. And now he's the head coach at Bethel Park. They're going to be in a tournament coming up against his alma mater in a few days, Blackhawk. That's a holiday tournament in Ambridge at the Wright Automotive Fieldhouse. So lots of basketball still to come tonight. But now you, next week, once you get into the new year, you've got a couple of local basketball teams, Oak Glen and Lisbon. And from what you tell me, Lisbon's pretty good.
Yeah. Lisbon's playing down in Florida. They're playing, I think they're playing right now. They're playing Chamberlain High School. Not sure about them, but they're playing down in Florida the next couple days. But then Tuesday we got Oak Glen, which will be a big OVAC matchup for us. Get us some points if we can win that, And then at Lisbon on Friday, next Friday. So that'll be a tough. They always play us well. We always play them well. So they're loaded. They're 7, 8 seniors or whatever. So they're going to be good. But we'll be all right. I think we'll play hard and we'll see what happens.
Coach, listen, always a pleasure. Thank you for giving me the chance to come down tonight. Thanks to everyone. Thanks for the new swag. I got that Wellsville Tiger hat. Looking forward to donning that. But come on down, enjoy Wellsville basketball. We're going to try to get back a couple of more times before the season is over. Always nice to be in Tiger Town. It's your Pratt Pack. Until later tonight with Dante Calabria at the Brighton Hot Dog Shop in Chippewa. Have a great night, everybody.